Hi, everyone. Welcome to our motivational segment on this beautiful, beautiful Monday evening here in Zambia. I just want to thank everyone that is actually tuned into our motivational segment. I hope so far the year has been so good to you, and I hope the rest of these days in this year will also be excellent unto you. So, we have a very interesting topic on today's motivational segment: to become or to settle for less. To become or to settle for less. So, before we go right into our topic for discussion, which is today's a motivational segment with a twist, I would like to ask you guys to please drop a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. It's very important for me to acknowledge your presence because you are what makes Moments with Inonge a success. It is your comments, your contributions, you showing up whenever I'm live. That gives me the encouragement to keep pushing, to keep coming online, and to keep sharing whatever has been laid in my heart. So, like I said, today we have a very interesting topic, which is to become or to settle for less. To become or to settle for less. The theme for this month, of January is I live a purpose-driven life. I live a purpose-driven life. And I'm taking that theme from the Bible, from the book of 1 Corinthians 7 and verse 20. So because of the theme, everything that we're going to share in the inspirational segments, in the motivational segments, and in the leadership segments, they are all in line with, living a purpose-driven life. They're all in line with living a purpose-driven life. So we have a comment from Musama. Musama says, good evening. Good evening, Musama. Thank you so much for coming online and joining us in our leadership, in our motivational segment. I'm already talking leadership because I'm excited. It's jam-packed, Thank you so much. You are saying you are actually watching from Zimbabwe. Very good to know that Zimbabwe is actually tuned in, very, very good to know. Please, Musama, like and share this broadcast so that even your brothers and sisters there can get to be enlightened. They can get to be enlightened coming from what I am sharing. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for that comment. Thank you for that comment. And right into our topic, to become or to settle for less. To become or to settle for less. That is our topic for discussion. A lot of people like give up in life because of maybe a past experience that they had. You see, we have seen it from the Word of God that everyone was created for a purpose. Just like our theme for last month was, I have a purpose for existence. Everyone has a purpose for existence. But not everyone knows what their purpose is. And not only not knowing what their purpose is, but not everyone pursues their purpose. Sometimes it's not intentional. Sometimes it's not intentional that somebody doesn't follow through with their purpose. Sometimes it's because of the challenges. It's because of the hardships. It's because of the negative voices that we hear from others. It's because of the opposition, the force that knows that that you're going to make it, the force that sees you as a rival, And when I was thinking of today's motivational segment, the only thing that could come to my mind is Lion King. Lion King. Yes, Lion King, the cartoon. We can really draw some motivation from that Lion King cartoon. How many of you that are online have actually watched Lion King? I remember watching Lion King in say 1990s, because I think it was released in 1994. Correct me if I'm wrong. So the only thing that could come to my mind, is Lion King. Why Lion King? It got me to think that, sometimes this is just a story, but we can learn from it. We can learn a lot from it. You see, Simba in Lion King was born a prince, a heir to the throne. But because of what happened, Simba actually he actually withdrew from his purpose. He was born into the kingdom, began to grow in the kingdom, but something pushed him out of the kingdom. Something happened and pushed him out of the kingdom. I would just love to, refresh your memory. I would just love to refresh your memory because, like, for me, it took a long time before I watched Lion King. But apparently, as I was thinking to say, what is it that I'm going to share on the motivational segment? The Lion King, the cartoon, the movie, The Lion King, it just came to my mind. And many people are actually finding themselves in such a situation where, because of something that happened in your past, you forget your identity. You forget your identity. So I just want you to just refresh your memory, with something that is coming from Lion King.
Dad? Dad, come on. You gotta get up. Dad, we gotta go home. Help! Somebody! Anybody! Help!
Simba, what have you done?
There were wildebeest and he tried to save me. It was an accident. I didn't mean for it to happen.
Of course you didn't. No one ever means for these things to happen. But the king is dead. And if it weren't for you, he'd still be alive. What will your mother think?
What am I gonna do?
Run away, Simba. Run. Run away and never return. Kill him.
So usually that happens, and it happens most of the time. It happens most of the time to many of us, where you go through a certain situation and it is not your fault, but there'll be accusing voices that will come to you. These accusing voices may not be external, like we watched in Lion King. Some of them may be actually internal. Where something goes wrong and you begin to blame yourself, you begin to put the blame on yourself, and you don't realize that what happens was meant to happen, or what happened, you couldn't prevent it from happening. So, what do? You run away. You run away because you don't want to face what has happened. You run away because you fear the implications of what happened. Many times this happens. Like Simba, that was born in a kingdom that was supposed to be a heir. Somebody who wants to take over plots something, and actually it works in favor of that person. It works in favor of Mufasa, and he gets rid of Simba. So what does Simba do in Lion King? He runs away, and when he runs away, he's picked by Timon and Pumbaa. Timon and Pumbaa are not lions, but Simba is a lion. But he begins to hang around with Timon and Pumbaa because he's not a lion. Because they're not lions, he begins to develop their culture. He begins to live like them. He forgets who he really is. Circumstances in this life that tend to make us forget who we are. They tend to make us forget that dream we had when we were kids. Most of the times, the easiest way to find your purpose, find that thing that you were passionate about, is to look back to the days when you were young, your innocent days. Because you were so young, nothing really influenced you. You could dream. You were free to dream. But as you grow, a lot of things begin to happen. Your confidence is shattered, and then you begin to lose that dream. So when Simba lost his dad and Mufasa accusing him of actually killing him, he left the pride in fear of what is the mother going to think, or how is she going to react because the father died actually trying to serve him. What are the other animals going to say? A lot of people go through this. A lot of people go through this. My motivation today is think back on your purpose. Think back on your passion. Think back on your calling, and don't lose hope. Start again. Are you going to settle for less, or are you going to become that person that God has created you to be? When you look at your life, regardless of what has happened in the past, which way are you going? Are you going the easy way, or are you going to take the hard way? What choice have you made? Our theme for this month, January, is, I live a purpose-driven life. Living a purpose-driven life means going against the odds, putting your past behind and pushing forward. Simba lived with Timon and Pumbaa, and he forgot who he was. And a lot of people have forgotten. They have put aside their passion. They have put aside their calling, maybe because they have to provide for their family. So they can't now begin to pursue, their purpose. They can't now begin to pursue their calling. But in today's motivational segment, I want to remind you to remember who you are. I want to remind you, that you have a purpose for existence. Just to refresh your memory and just to motivate you, again, I'm going to take you to a clip, that actually motivates Simba to get back to who he really was, to the real Simba. So just stay tuned, guys, and just be encouraged to remember who you are.
Look hard. You see, he lives in you. Father?
could I?
You have forgotten who you are, and so forgotten me. Look inside yourself, Simba. You are more than what you have become. You must take your place in the circle of life.
How can I go back? I'm not who I used to be.
Remember who you are. You are my son, and the one true king. Remember who you are.
No, please, don't leave me.
Remember.
Father,
Remember.
don't leave me.
Breathtaking, isn't it? Very, very breathtaking. Like I was saying before we got to watch that clip, Simba found himself living with Timon and Pumbaa, who are not lions, who do not know, who he was before they met him. And he begins to follow suit. He begins to live in that circle. He begins to behave like the person that he is not. One thing that caught my attention from the clip that we just previously played is what, Simba's dad said to him. He said, look inside you. Remember who you are. You see, God has created us with a purpose, and the purpose lies inside us through the passion that we have, through the gifts that we have. A lot of people are looking for the meaning, are looking for relevance outside. My motivation to you is look inside you. You have everything inside you. That gift is inside you. That potential is inside you. It may be hard to pick up and become the person that God created you to become, but it's not too late. The fact that you are still alive means that you can actually pick up and become that person that God created you to be. Remember who you are is my motivation for you. Live a purpose-driven life is my motivation for you. Remember who you are. Search within you and begin to pursue that person. Our theme is I live a purpose-driven life. When you discover who you are, it is not enough just to discover. Just like for Simba, he discovered, who he was. He remembered who he was, but it was not enough to remember who he was, because just remembering that he was a prince, he was a son to a king, was not going to make him a king. He had to go back, fight for his place, and take his place. A lot of us, we know what our purpose is, but we don't fight to become that which we were called to become. Yes, you may be destined to be a king, but just knowing the fact that you're a king does not make you a king. It is taking your place as a king, sitting on the throne, that makes you a king. Just like Simba, he was out there with Timon and Pumbaa, but the inside of him, his true identity was a king. But he could not be a king where he was. He had to go back and take his place. So in this month of January, in this first month of 2021, my motivation to you is that purpose that you have discovered, that gift that you have, begin to work on it. Even if it's just an hour a day, begin to work on it and become who you were truly created to be. I will not say more than I have already said. I think the two clips, have a lot of content within them. For those that have just joined us, please ensure that you watch this motivational segment from the beginning. And, as you watch, try to listen to the voice that speaks within you inside, the voice of hope, the voice of encouragement, regardless of whatever it is that you went through in the past. There is still hope for you. You are alive today. I'm alive today. There is still hope. We've made many mistakes. I have personally made many mistakes, but I will not be defined by the mistakes that I've made. I will not let the mistakes of the past define my today or my future. I will let the actions that I take today define my future. So that's food for thought that I had to leave you with. So if there are any comments at this point, any contributions, any questions, please drop them, and I'll be going through the comments. So we have a comment from Kamanga, and Kamanga says, watching from Ndola. Watching from Ndola. Thank you so much for tuning in, Kamanga. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we have a comment from Zamiwa. Zamiwa says, laugh out loud. He becomes a clown. He becomes a clown. And Zamiwa goes on to say, that's wisdom right there, my friend. That is really, really true. That is, that's some wisdom there. And she drops another comment that says, it's true. Knowing who you are is not enough, but acting upon it. It's like confessing that you are rich, and yet you don't work hard towards getting rich. The Bible also says, faith without works is dead. That is very, very true. That is very, very true. People, my fans, my followers, please ensure that this year 2021 you take action regardless of what's going on. Ensure that you take action. Ensure that you fight. If you believe that you're going to be great, ensure that you take action towards greatness. If you believe that you have been called, to be an accountant, ensure that you go to school, and begin to study accounts, or even YouTube. YouTube is a very good college or university. I don't know which one you decide to call it, but YouTube can teach you a lot of things. Learn. Whatever it is that you love, whether it's singing, develop that gift, because you don't know where your gift is going to take you. The word of God says that your gift is going to make room for you. So guys, that is all I had on the motivational segment. I hope and trust that you've been motivated to take action concerning your purpose, concerning the dreams that you have. And for those that haven't yet enrolled for the leadership segment, which is kickstarting tomorrow, please register for that leadership segment. And then also stay tuned for the leadership segment, because in our leadership segments, believe you me, we're going to be getting hard stuff that is going to help us, to live a purpose-driven life. So that is what I have for you guys on the motivational segment. It is my hope and trust that you've been motivated and you have enjoyed the segment. Love you guys. Take care, stay blessed, and live a purpose-driven life.